Hello, Bear Watchers.
Hi. Sorry about the glare. I don't really feel like taking my glasses off today, so you might get a little bit of glare from me.
Yeah, we pulled out the ring light. We figured we'd do this in here. We were going to do it in the dining room because we've got all of the Valentine's decorations up and everything. And, you know, dogs, birds.
Yeah.
It's real, guys.
Yeah. Beans slurping, Kip's nibbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here I was just talking about people with AirPods and how much they hear, all the extra noises.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. It might not be so bad because I'm using the phone. The Osmo picks up a whole lot more noises. But we figured we'd use the phone for this because it's just a chat, sit down, talk. And did we want to kind of recap last year?
I don't even know what all happened exactly. Okay, so we went on a cruise.
That was kind of the first time last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Mom's birthday week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, it was like we left on my birthday.
Oh, okay.
The day of my birthday is when we left, and then so it was a week long. So it was almost Heather's birthday by the time we, got off of the ship. So they were confused.
Yeah.
So they knew it was both of our birthdays and we were both celebrating, but they weren't sure what day was what. So it was like almost every dinner.
Yeah.
They were doing something for our birthdays.
Yeah.
Both of us. So that was fun. It was like a whole week-long birthday celebration.
Yeah. So what's crazy though is we had been planning this cruise like so far in advance, this Disney cruise, and then we went on the cruise. At that point, I was kind of like, I was so stressed at the time because of my previous job that I had decided, because it was kind of affecting like how my trip was going. I was still stressed on the trip.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I had made a decision right there that I was like, I can't stay in a job that's going to kill me. I need to find something that's going to suit me better. Yeah,
because there were a lot of other people in the office that were taking trips, and they were all like, "Oh, have a good time, congratulations, and come back tan and blah blah blah." But when Mary went to go take her vacation, they're like, "Where are you going? You can't leave us."
Yeah, and they're like, "She's always going on a trip," and I was like, "What? I go on like one trip a year."
Yeah, once a year, and the other people were taking lots of vacations and other time off, sick pay, and Mary wasn't taking any days off like that, but they were giving her heck about it.
I think at a certain... It
was kind of toxic.
Yeah, I think it was a toxic environment for me, so I decided to leave. So then that's the next thing that happened. I spent the next maybe like 3 months, February, March, April. Yeah, I spent the next like 3 months job searching and some interviews, and then filling out applications and submitting my resume. And then I had some great friends who we met through YouTube. I guess I can shout them out.
Adam and Sherry Leg.
When I was like really starting to lose hope, they were like, "Hey, this job opened up. We think that you should apply for it." So I did.
And the weird thing was, though, she had applied for a job sounded like the same exact position, part-time.
And I figured I would maybe just start with a summer job and then go from there, or I'd, over the summer be able to find something full-time and then just start in the winter. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for whatever options I have right now. Yeah. So... but luckily, this full-time position that was very similar to the one that I applied that was just going to be seasonal opened up. I applied. I didn't hear back for a little while, but it was a busy time of year now that I've learned that I'm in the position. The spring is kind of a busy time. But when I finally did hear back, it was pretty much like they immediately knew that I was the candidate they wanted, and I got into that by June. So it was very ironic how the dates landed, because I had told myself mentally I was going to stay at the previous job for 2 years, and if I didn't like it, I would change jobs. And it was getting close to that 2-year mark which is why I was like, I think now that I've got the experience at this job, I can move on to something else.
And weren't you like a day short of 2 years or something?
No, it was like 2 years and 3 days or something crazy.
I knew it was really close.
Yeah.
It was really close.
Yeah, so I had actually worked at that previous job. By the time I changed, I finished my previous job on a Friday, and then I moved to my new job the following Monday. So I had a weekend break, a normal weekend. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how things go.
Yeah, so
that was a big change.
It was a blessing, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that just led to a whole lot of just
big changes.
Good changes. All good changes.
Yeah.
I realized that like my mental health was not well from the previous job. I started doing counseling. I think I've only briefly mentioned that, but I think a majority of people know. So I started doing counseling, and then been doing it since. I'm in a very good place now. Yeah. But a few months after starting counseling, I met my current boyfriend.
So we all know who that is.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy.
We did a lot of traveling, because she had her friend got married down there.
I had a friend who I went to their bridal shower, and then I went to their wedding. So I went to their bridal shower. That was before I met my boyfriend, and then we went to the Highland Games. That's when I started talking to my boyfriend, and then my first date with him was the same weekend of the wedding.
Oh, was it?
The wedding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the wedding. And then
because we hit it off, he mentioned the Girdwood Blueberry Festival. Yeah, so then I was like, I'll come down for that if you're interested. Yeah. So
did you fly down for that, or did we drive down there?
Nope, I flew down. I went by myself.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. She spread her wings.
Yeah.
She started doing things on her own.
Which is crazy because I was thinking about maybe 3 years ago, or like it might have been like 2.5 years ago. I flew down to Anchorage, or no, I didn't fly down to Anchorage. I drove down with Mom for a training for my previous job, and then she left me at the hotel that they put me up in for the training, and
had to fly back.
And I was like terrified. I did not like it at all. By the end of the weekend, I felt fine because my best friend lives in Anchorage, and she hung out with me most of that weekend, so that was really nice.
Yeah. So the way that this is all coming together, her friends are down there.
Yeah.
So, if she goes down there, she's got a whole community down there already.
Yeah. Their friends are kind of my friends. They all went
to school together, and they went down there for college, and 3, 4, 5 years of schooling down there, and they're staying. They aren't coming back up here. So
they've all got a lot going for them down there.
Mary's got people that she can hang out with down there, and then she knew Tyler's sister from school too.
Elementary school.
Yeah, so
a long time ago. That I think we kind of explained that. Yeah, there's a video of it's like Mom's perspective.
It's my perspective of how they met. Yeah,
and so she did go over that briefly. Yeah. But I was good friends with his sister at least for a year that I remember. Maybe it was 2 years.
It was almost 2 years.
We were in a joint class, so she was actually a year above me. But we became good friends over that time. Went to all of each other's birthday parties and whatever other celebrations and sleepovers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they ended up
classmates. Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up moving away. So I do have memories of Tyler from when we were very little. He doesn't have a lot of those same memories as me. Surprisingly, I do remember those things because I also don't have the best memory.
Yeah. She doesn't remember.
Yeah.
When we go back to Michigan, I have to really jog her brain. She's like, oh, I do remember this. But I have to really push for her to bring back those memories.
Probably because I reconnected with him and just being near him brought back those memories. So I was like, oh my gosh, do you remember this? And he'd be like, no. I'd be like, well, it happened. So I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah. I've got a friend. She's doesn't remember anything before the age of 14. Something happened, then in her brain at 14 to where she started remembering after that. But a lot of people remember like after elementary school type of, that age. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember elementary school and earlier.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't have a whole lot of memories of Michigan, because I was like 6 by the time we left, and I feel like I only started, my memory was only between the ages of started between the ages of 4 and 5.
Oh.
I have some memories from the age 4, but most of them start around the age 5. So
yeah. Yeah. So then, we spent a lot of time down Girdwood and
going back and
Anchorage
forth.
and Wasilla. And I have friends in Wasilla too, and so that was nice to visit with people down there, and and so that was a big summer. Big summer. Is he whining?
Yeah. He'll grab onto toys, and then he'll just hold them in his mouth, and then he whines, and sometimes he'll do the little
puppy paw thing.
He's not doing that right now. He just looks sad.
Making biscuits.
I feel so bad for. Poor baby. But that's okay.
And then Mary and I had that fall.
The cruise.
The cruise.
The November cruise.
Yeah, and that turned out kind of a little weird.
It was weird. It wasn't bad. It was just weird. It was just a weird series of events.
And that was just not too long ago, so you guys probably seen all that. I know a lot of you are new here, and you might have come on about that time, because I noticed we got a lot of people now from California. Mm-hmm. So you probably seen, like your home city or something, maybe San Francisco, or like, oh my gosh, and then, kind of corrected me on, oh, this is this, But do that. Yeah. I'm happy to,
we're definitely not opposed to correction. If you know something better than us, then please provide the information in the comments.
Yeah.
Especially when we travel places, we might not remember all of the facts correctly, but maybe if you live there and you know what's correct, then you can be like, oh, by the way, this is actually, this is the true story. You just missed a couple things.
And what was really fun was I have a patient of mine that, when we went to Catalina Islands, they had these stories that they told about the ships that would come in, with all of the people in their fancy clothes and the rich people, and they used to throw quarters down. Yeah, the kids would swim out to the boats, and then the rich people would throw the quarters, and then the kids would dive and try to get as many quarters as they could. And they dive down. Sometimes they dive down 10 feet to get those quarters. So it was a process, but they said that some of these kids made a lot of money. They made like $10 or $15, and back then, it was the 50s, the 40s and 50s. That was a lot of money. Yeah, because this was this place was essentially the prime destination for people like Marilyn Monroe. And like the 50s, 60s was that was the vacation scene for the California celebrities. Right. Yeah. So one of my patients was one of those kids. So he said, yeah, that was me. I used to do that. I used to get those quarters. The way just learning these things that connects us to people who were actually there. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So much fun. Yeah. But so this year's plans. So that was the end of last year. I feel like this is focused a lot on me though. Well, it is because this year's plans got all canceled because Mary. Well, and it worked out in a certain sense. Mm-hmm. So I had tried to get my mom and I on a seaborne cruise through my workplace. Yeah, which is a luxury cruise. If you don't know what a seaborne cruise is, it's real similar to Viking cruises. So people are more familiar with those.
Yeah.
Where you pay one big, huge lump sum and everything is covered. Everything, all your packages, there's no extra costs.
Yeah, once you're on the cruise. Whereas a lot of other cruises, like the things they sell on the cruise is how they make their money. They everything's an additional
like
cost.
the drink packages and all the stuff that you get extra on a cruise.
But I was trying to get her on this like luxury cruise. It was going to be her and me.
That's enough of that.
And then we changed that plan because we realized it was far enough out. I could add my boyfriend. So at that time, there was still a chance for us to get on the cruise.
Hold on. Okay.
We're going.
So the cruise.
Oh, yeah. So I tried to add my boyfriend to the cruise. I mean, that worked out and everything. I did get him added, but the cruise became popular. And since I have not worked for my company for quite a long time yet, it's almost 2 years. I'll have my 2-year anniversary coming up this summer, but
it's based on availability.
Yeah.
And it ended up full.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, we keep getting bumped down the list. It might just be a good idea to cancel and figure something else out. We threw around different ideas, thought about going to Michigan and bringing my boyfriend there to meet some of our family.
Right.
But just because...
Which would have been perfect because we realized that, we were going to go to Michigan last summer and it was very, very expensive.
Yeah.
It was like $800-900 a ticket to get there. And then it was, like hotels were $300-400. It was very expensive because it's touristy, like here.
Yeah.
It's expensive to come here in the summer. I've got a cousin coming up this summer. I'll talk about that. and she's like, nope, I'm not doing this, because it's really expensive and she doesn't have a whole lot of money. But we found out that Michigan has a shoulder season just like us. So the first couple of weeks before Memorial Day is actually cheap.
Yeah.
But
just before school gets out.
Yeah, but we tossed it around and I told her, you know what? If you're going to move down there in May anyway, why take another week off? Let's just use that time we have off
which I think is going to work out the best.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's working out perfectly. So I'll be moving in May. And now there's other things in motion now. We'll see what happens with that. I don't want to say much because I feel like sometimes you can jinx things.
Right.
But so I'll be moving.
That'll all come down the road. You'll just have to pay attention and watch.
I'm sure she'll keep you updated for the most part.
Yeah. But in the meantime, there'll be a lot of back and forth this summer.
Yeah.
So I'm already I'm going to go down there before Mary's. I'm going down in April with Heather. We're actually going down to the Comic-Con down there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be down there or going down there that weekend.
I don't know. We'll see.
They keep going back and forth. The plan was maybe every few weeks to go back and forth, but they've been almost every weekend.
It's more like every... So we were doing every other weekend. Lately, we've been kind of booking them a little bit closer together. And we might have to go back to every other weekend because it's expensive, especially in March with spring
March
break.
is expensive.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I've gotten a little help from her. Tyler's gotten a little help from his parents. So
yeah, we've been using miles and stuff.
Nice to have parents with miles.
Yeah,
helpful parents.
Yeah,
but they're the ones who set us up, so they're like, let's keep this thing going.
When you're watching this, he'll actually be up here.
Yeah.
And Heather and I will be in Seattle. But I paid for him to come up here to hang out with Mary for Valentine's Day. Yeah,
we're probably gonna go raid the candy aisles.
Oh no, he's a bad influence. They're bad influence for each other.
I don't know.
They need to stop that.
I feel like I'm particular about candy because I'm not super into milk chocolate, and I'm not really into sour candy.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah, dark chocolates are good.
She's not really a sweet.
I'm
eater.
more into light sweets, like Japanese sweets. You know how they always say they're not too sweet. I'm into those kind of sweets.
Yeah. And they do like to go to Mimi Mart.
Yeah, so we might just end up at Mimi Mar. We'll see. We're there all the time whenever he's up. So.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so in April, Heather and I will be going down to Anchorage for Comic-Con. And that will be probably the earliest. Last year when I went down for Memorial Day, I said, that's the earliest I've ever gone down there.
Yeah, and that was for my friend's bridal shower.
And that was, Memorial Day, so that was in May.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going down the end of April. And I have been down to Denali in April because we go down there for Earth Day a lot.
I think last year we went in March, actually.
Did we?
We went for my birthday still, but it was later than my birthday. It was
but we flew.
Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about driving. Yeah, she doesn't usually drive until it is clear.
It's completely clear. Yeah. Which April it's not.
Yeah.
So that'll be different for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just telling Mary today that my Blizzaks are down to their last legs.
Yeah.
So this will be my 4th winter on them.
Not bad, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't change them like I should.
Yeah. She's gonna need some new ones this year.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need some new ones this year. And then May is when Mary's gonna be moving, and then that's Memorial Day too, actually. That whole week runs into Memorial Day the next week.
Yeah.
So and then
so hopefully we can have a little bit of a break the weekend after.
And then June is when my cousin's gonna be here. So I took a whole week off. It's like a long weekend, but it's a week. That's she was trying to find the cheapest, and that's what we find out is that it's cheapest to go midweek to midweek.
Yeah.
And so that's what she's doing. She's coming midweek, but she's got a friend in Anchorage and she's staying with that friend. And she thought, well, I got to go up to Fairbanks and see my cousin. And she found out how much the flights were. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So then she looked into renting a car and she's like, it's a 6-hour drive. What?
It's not.
And I'm like, that 6-hour drive is nothing to us.
Yeah.
Because
it's crazy because we go to the lower 48. You can drive through like
3 states in 6 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10 cities within an hour, and I'm just like, I don't understand the geography.
That's like when we go to visit relatives in Michigan. I'm like, well, here's Detroit. Well, here's Mount Clemens. Well, here's Port Huron. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
We've only gone 2 hours.
Right? It's weird to me because I'm used to living in Alaska where things are far more spread out. The
4 hours to
the
here.
nearest city is maybe half an hour away. Well, yeah, for us, the nearest city is probably half an hour away. But the biggest, if you consider big cities, is Anchorage 6 hours away.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. And so I'll have I think I took the same time she's, taking off midweek to midweek, and I'll meet her down there. So then she's talking about with her friend going to Homer. So I need to get together with them, for plans because I'll want to travel with them, when I get down there. And then
that'll be cool.
Yeah. Then I can visit Mary.
Yeah.
and then July, I have a big long weekend for 4th of July. I'll probably go down there again.
But I was telling Mama, I was like, soon we'll have a place, and then she'll be able to just have somewhere to stay, around the Anchorage area.
Right. And we were talking about going, since we skipped Michigan in May, we were talking about going in the fall again. But we're really, this house is run on 3 incomes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to figure out winter without Mary around.
Which we've done before. I've
done it before.
Yeah, because when I was in college, we were paying for college expenses. Heather didn't make as much as she does now. Probably... gosh, like, I don't know. She's making a pretty good amount now.
Yeah, Heather and I are both making more money than we did when I first moved into the house.
Yeah, considering that, like, I was in college and I wasn't working at the time, and all of the money I did make from summer jobs was getting pooled into, like, payments for college. And so none of that was actually going to the household. It was just going into college because that was so expensive.
Yeah. So I was covering pretty much the house myself for the first couple of years.
So I was like, I don't have a whole lot of worries about that.
Yeah, it's just, we kind of got turned around with COVID, and I was like, you know what? Yeah. I actually almost died. So
yeah, I was horrified.
So I was like, you know what? I want to travel. I want to do things before my time is up, that I've been putting off.
So we've just been putting more money towards fun things.
Yeah.
And so
So we got to cut that out this year I'm going to put everything on like a QuickBooks type of program. I'm leaning more towards a Dave Ramsey, type of program.
Oh, okay. I've heard of him.
So, yeah. So... I want to implement that because they do have, like QuickBooks type programs where you could put all of your income and expenses and everything in there, and it gives you.
Yeah, I've made myself like very basic versions of that.
She's good at it. She is good at it, though.
I do the budgeting.
But, I used to know all that stuff. I used to do spreadsheets and stuff, and I don't spreadsheet. But oh gosh, what do you call it?
Journal?
It's like a journal.
Yeah.
I journal my bills. So everything is handwritten out. So if something were to happen to me, there's a book here that has all the bills and everything in it. But I need to get it on the computer because Heather doesn't understand the book. And if something were to happen to me, Heather has to know how to, financially take care of things.
Mm-hmm. And that's gonna be a project for the two of them. Which Heather's well off. She's super high functioning. She has the capabilities. It's just convincing her that she can do it.
Right.
So I think once you guys get into that mindset, it's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, because I've beat my head against the wall for a long time because she's a math major. You give her a calculus, function, and she could figure it all out in her head, which is crazy. But you give her $500 and tell her that she's got to budget it through the week and it's gone in 2 days.
Yeah. I think it's just like giving her perspective is what the challenge is going to be. Yeah.
So there you go. That's
some insight.
That's pretty much this year in a nutshell, is trying to figure out finances and just we're gonna just travel around Alaska, which you guys like. Mm-hmm. You guys like the Alaska stuff,
and that's what we did for the longest time. We didn't really travel a whole lot until like maybe the last few years when I started working, because when I started working, I was like, oh, hey, I'm making money now.
Too.
We got some extra money. We can do things. Yeah. So,
and I already pushed some buttons. I said, hey, we got to talk about next year, 2026.
Just research some cruises. Let me know.
She wants to go on a Disney cruise again.
I do. I mean, those I'm pretty good at budgeting for those. They're pricey. But I've budgeted for 2 of them and paid for all of them with mostly my own money, because she might help me a little bit with airlines tickets and stuff, but that was mostly I really wanted to go on those. I took the preparation, saved the money, did a crazy amount of budgeting.
The airline tickets, the hotels.
Oh, but we haven't rented any cars for the last couple ones.
No, Yeah,
so
cars I usually do too. Anything outside of the cruise, and then she might pick up some meals at the restaurants, dinners and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. This last one, I picked up most of the meals.
I think that's how we usually do it, because I
Yeah.
paid for the whole cruise itself, and for pretty much for anything on the cruise, because they only have one card connected to the account.
Mm-hmm.
So I budget out for all of that, and then she helps me with all the stuff outside of the cruise.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
It works. That's kind of the way we've always worked things, ever since she started working. Because she's my buddy. I keep telling everybody she's my apron string baby.
Apron string?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's the little child that always holds onto your pant leg.
Oh, yeah. I was that, though. Like, legitimately, I was a very shy child. I did not like to look at people. I would look at the ground, so I always was holding on to her. I'd
turn around and I trip right over her because she's always underneath me.
Yeah, she always called me her shadow because I was always behind her.
Yeah.
But then also, I think I learned to do a lot of that outside of the house, just because Heather would run off all the time. So I had to get like a major grip in one hand to hold on to Heather to keep her from running away. So I was the link between her and Mom. So there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and for those of you that are new here, I know you might have noticed from Costco hauls, and recently Heather's been on quite often, that she's autistic. She's high-functioning autistic.
Yeah, I mean,
so
when we tell people, they're like, we never would have known. And it's like, I mean, she's that high-functioning.
I mean, there's a lot you don't see.
Yeah, there's a lot
you don't see.
Yeah, the very quick changes in emotional states and stuff like that.
Yeah, but, it's
I mean, we all have our days,
and it helps this ADHD mama because it always gives me something to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for her. So we'll leave you with that, and we'll see where the year goes. Mm-hmm. Just keeping on with us, and I'm glad you're all here. And thanks for hanging out with us. And I haven't seen my numbers dropping at all lately.
I might not be.
They used to go up and down, and they're not going down like they used to.
We'll see. Sorry, I'm thinking about different things. But I was like, we'll see how the videos go in the future with the move and everything. Because after I move, I might not be showing up in a lot of videos very often. But if she's traveling a lot, you never know. I might still be in them.
A lot of videos.
But I'm definitely.
I told her she needs to take some video and send them to me because it's beautiful down there.
Yeah. I'll just have to send her driving videos all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see you later. Bye.